Someone across an already written bio that sums up his life and career better than I can. Besides, he got tired of trying to come up with something and wadding a lot of paper, trying to do draft after draft, and oh my God. So when I saw this, I thought, this is perfect. So here goes. With a little bit of editing and some comments by me. Pete grew up around this industry, since his father, Pat, was a painter, until he retired in 1999 at the age of 76. Pete went to work with him as early as 5 years old. But, and over the years, Pete realized that he was addicted to cars and bikes. I mean, building model cars and going to races and car shows, with his dad, his interest kept growing, even though his dad insisted on his education and tried at times to discourage Pete from becoming a painter. The reason why I'm into painting, especially at the caliber that Pete Santini excels at, it's hard work. And but like all parents, though, his dad wanted him to better himself and be the best that he can through life. But later, Pete realized, even after graduating college with an advertising art major, he realized, sitting behind a desk was just not for him. Pete painted his first motorcycle, a Honda 250 Scrambler in 1967 at 15, and read every car and bike book back then, and just looking for paint ideas and instruction. Pete's heroes were legendary: Larry Watson, Gene Winfield, Big Daddy Roth, Bill Carter, Wild Bill Carter, Bobby Von Soul, and Art Hemsel, just to name a few. And Pete's got good taste in sources, I'll tell you that. Pete will tell you he's always been blessed to have his past heroes become his friends, in the present. Because back then, you learned by doing. I mean, there was no such things as schools or videos or the internet. You just did it. So after painting out of his folks' house for a number of years, his little business grew to the point where Pete had to open up his first shop, and he did that in 1977. He said his mom got tired of him using her washer as a prop for trash and motorcycle parts. Pete's first magazine feature was a four-wheel and off-road magazine in 1982. That was the beginning of a stream of constant magazine articles, and probably well over 250 and counting. Features in the likes of Hot Rod, Carcraft, Rod and Customs, Street Rodder, Popular Hot Rodding, Trucking. Need to take a breath. High PWs, Street Trucks, Auto Week. I mean, you name it. And somewhere in there was a nice tribute or feature, for Pete Santini. And now with today's social media, the internet continues to spread Santini's talents far and wide. Pete's creations have been featured also on TV in numerous times, such as Hot Rod TV, Rides, Overhauling, and MTV, just to name a few. He's been blessed to work on vehicles for musicians, athletes, Hollywood celebrities, and professional race car drivers. When you're good, word gets out. Corporate America regularly Santini's uses Santini paint for special projects such as Ford, General Motors, Honda, Chrysler, PPG, Trends, Wings West, Street Scene, Bassani Exhaust, Yamaha, and Toyo tires, and that's just a partial list. The awards, affiliations, the publicity and notoriety, but most of all, the friends Santini has made over the years have been priceless, and he's thankful for all those who've been part of his ongoing history. After 40 years, Pete's painting passion and flair for design is stronger than ever, and each new day brings new challenges to be met and new ideas to try. Pete still does all the custom painting and designing himself, although many times he's had the privilege of utilizing the design talents of friends like Tom Taylor, Chip Foose, and some nobody named Steve Stanford. Or something like that. Youngest son Nick, helps, and works with the company, and his beautiful wife Jeanette keeps everything ship-shape. I believe there's something to be said for enduring 40 years in this industry with integrity and credibility and downright staying power. You can talk amongst yourself. Just about, I was on a roll too. Anyway, Pete Santini pays it forward by always being generous with his time and his talent, especially to the new crop of up and coming, painters and creatives, which is fitting because, remembering how Pete revered his heroes as he first picked up a spray gun or pondered a new design or technique. The looks of awe and respect now turns to the great Santini. This GNRS Hall of Fame induction is well-deserved, and the hall is richer for it. May I introduce you? Bless you and congratulations, Pete Santini.
There you go, Pete. I knew you've been dying to do this.
I use a Kleenex right now. Thank you. I'm the only one that had to put these on. Well, Steve said just about my whole acceptance speech, so we'll keep this short. And by keeping it short, if any of you have ever been here before and you knew the late, great Blackie, years ago, I said, Blackie, if I'm ever honored to be inducted into this wonderful thing, would you please prepare a quick speech for me? So he did, and I'm going to, well, we only got till 9 o'clock, right? Okay. So anyway, we won't be able to use Blackie's acceptance speech, but I do appreciate that wonderful man. But I would like to thank John and Kevin for this opportunity and your friendships. And also, the deal was if I painted the pedal car, they can kind of get me in this thing. So I'd like to thank the Peterson Museum and the NHRA staff for providing, and all the peers that voted for me, because that's what's wonderful about this award. It's people like you that know people like me, and some of you don't know me, but you're here anyway. But anyway, you're voted by peers that know the industry, and that's a wonderful thing. And regardless of what Tom Taylor thinks, the Russians have no votes on my end. So, hi, Tom.
Get back.
So real quick, I know it's getting late, and you've got some long stuff here, and so I'm just going to go through my personal thanks and gratitude to those. First of all, congratulations to Tom Kelly. It's such a wonderful ordeal, and to have him the same night as me, because when I first moved to Orange County with my dad and mom, he was actually our neighbor for over 10 years. And he taught me by just going to his shop and his work ethics and his. I learned something, just coming from painting out of my mom's garage, and still was. I think I was. Well, when I first met Tom, I was 3 months old, right, Tom? Yeah. Okay. No, I was probably about 13, 14, and but seeing, I was just in awe of his shop and his talents. So he brought me to another level, just in my mind. It was just amazing. So anyway, it was an honor to be inducted tonight with Tom. And Bill, and of course Ronnie. I gotta say though, one of the most biggest influences of my life, besides my father, who basically came over this country in 1950 when there was no wall, and but he was from the east side. Sorry. Anyway, he came over, he learned how to paint cars on his own. And he soon became probably the best in the South Bay area. Probably the best enamel painter, single stage enamel painter I've ever met in my life. And I'm not saying because he's my dad, but was my dad, or he still is my dad. But anyway, he taught me, even like Steve said, go get an education, go to school, do this. But I would go to, I mean, I never had a Saturday off, even when I was 12 years old. I went to work every weekend. When summertime came, there were no summer breaks. It was at work. I had rolls of tape in my hand as soon as I was 5 years old. It was kind of funny though. He would teach me something, and then he'd go bam in his broken English and say, "Don't you do this for a living? This is a lousy business. Don't paint the cars for a living." So, okay, Bob. Anyway, I ended up doing it. But anyway, he taught me work ethics. He taught me when you say you're gonna do something, you do it, whether you like it or not. You get it done and you do it, and that's how he was. Just like Chip's dad, you know. I mean, my dad meant a lot to me. I miss him, and I'm sure he's smiling right now. So anyway, other than my father and a few others, real quick, probably the biggest influence in my life, and I believe probably should be inducted to this thing before me, is Bill Carter, Wild Bill Carter. If any of you guys any of you guys ever picked up custom paint, you know Bill Carter. He's influenced you somehow or another, and he influenced my life tremendously. We almost had him at our table tonight. He couldn't make it, but I just want to say thanks to him. And I also want to point out, did you notice my table tonight? It's pretty talented over there. You know, I mean, I got some pretty good guy, and I was smart, because if you've been inducted to the Hall of Fame, you don't have to pay for the dinner. So I invited all inducted people. I didn't have to pay for the dinners tonight. Okay? They don't really know me that well. Okay, but I inducted, and then I got a good friend of mine. I got DR Dennis, amazing. I got a good friend of mine, Joe Roth, Big Daddy's son, Daryl, who gave me an opportunity to paint 2 Big Daddy cars. I mean, that's pretty amazing for a kid who used to build the models. So anyway, I got my beautiful wife over there who I promised her when I proposed to her, yet this is a very lucrative business, and we're going to make a lot of money and travel the world. Okay, so, but she's just amazing. She's put up with a lot of ups and downs, and any of you guys know that work in cars, there are ups and downs. And to have somebody as supportive as her in my life is absolutely amazing. So I am very blessed. And I got my son, Nick, or Nicky, and he's devoted the best years of his life working at my shop, even though he will never be a painter. He works the office, he does all the administration, all that stuff, but I told him, if I ever see a spray gun in your hand, you ain't gonna, no. You'll be working for somebody else. But I appreciate him giving up the best parts of his life for his parents and his dad. So it's pretty amazing. It helps going to work when you have your loved ones with you. How am I doing, John? Okay? You gave Ronnie like 8 minutes, man. See, I knew I should have been an upholsterer. I knew it. Anyway, there's another guy I'd like to thank real quick, and that's a guy named Jeff Smith who worked at Carcraft magazine. And in 1979, I was down at my shop painting a pearl yellow Corvette, and this guy came up to me with a camera. He goes, "You mind if I take some pictures?" I said, "Who are you?" He goes, "I'm Jeff Smith, Carcraft magazine." Anyway, he did my very first little thing. He used to have a column called High Risers, and he would come out to new shops and new builders and whatever it is, and do just a quick column, introduce them to the public and the world. So I'm very grateful, because that was my first ink I ever had. So that was cool. So I appreciate Jeff Smith. Again, I got about a minute now, I guess, before they actually take the hook. So many people, again, like Ronnie said, and like Bill said, I mean, to be here inducted with my heroes when I was a kid, building models, going to car shows with my dad. I mean, I'm talking, you know, the Big Daddy Ross and the Winfields and the Heinzes and, you know, I mean, to actually have those guys as my friends now, to actually have had a chance to meet them and hang with them and have them come to my shop, Junior and Dick Jackson and Art Himsel and even Bud Anderson, the cat from AMT. I mean, some of you guys got to remember that, right? That was cool. But anyway, I'm so appreciative. But you know what? The most amazing was leader. Leader, if any of you know, is what Bill Carter used to call Larry Watson. And Larry became my friend years and years and years ago, snuck up behind me when I was laying on a flame job or something, asking if I knew how to do some kind of candy, root beer, cocoa faded candy thing. I don't know what he was talking about. Turned around and it was Watson. Absolutely amazing. We became close friends. And he is still very dear to my heart, and I miss him. And Larry, look what we did, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you're smiling, man. Most of all, I got to give glory to God, because I have attempted to throw this business away many times in my life. Not in purpose, but just out of stupidity, whatever. It's so good to know I have a Father I can turn to every day in prayer and lift up my problems, hand him all my garbage, and he takes care of me and my family and my loved ones. So, glory to God for my career, because I'm just a car painter. And thank you for all the friends and the affiliations. And this is just an amazing night. Thank you.
God and Larry Watson in the same sentence. John, back to you.
You know, I was just thinking that half hour that I'll never get back. Thank you, Pete. How cool would it be if you guys think about it? The young Bill Ganal builds a car, Ronnie does the interior on it, Santini paints it, and Mr. Kelly stripes it. How cool would that be? I'd take that car for sure. So get to it, guys. Make it happen, guys. All right, so I want to thank you guys all again for being with us. This is going to conclude our night. All of the Hall of Technology, including 4 newbies, need to come up here on stage. We're going to put some chairs out. We're going to get a huge group shots going on our webpage. So everyone get up here. Thank you guys again. Hats off to all of you. Thanks again. Enjoy the show.